Hi, thank you so much for joining us today to learn more about our study abroad programs. My name is Katie Bright, and I'm the manager of international graduate programs. And this is my colleague, Jessica.
Hi, my name is Jessica Dworkin, and I'm the director of international graduate programs here at Stetson Law School. We wanted to talk to you today about the possibility of doing a study abroad in one of our programs. As you may know, we have a consortium of schools that we work together with a number of partnerships. So that consortium is made up of the schools that you see on the screen: Stetson, Charleston University School of Law, Elon University School of Law, Florida A&M University College of Law, Mercer University College of Law, Nova Southeastern University Shepherd Broad College of Law, Oklahoma University School of Law, and the Roger Williams University School of Law. Together, we offer international programs in each of 4 places over the summer. We have 4-week programs that take place in Granada, Spain during the month of June, and then in July in The Hague in the Netherlands, in Cape Town, South Africa, and then a 2-week program the end of July into the beginning of August in Oxford, England. Let's talk a little bit about each of those programs in turn. Granada has a 4-week program in July, and we're offering the following courses this year in Granada: International Intellectual Property, International Consumer and Privacy Law, Analysis of Global Marijuana Laws, and Resolving Procedural Conflicts and Transnational Litigation. During the course of the 4-week program, we will have classes from Monday through Thursday with some additional visits where we will be going to visit the Alhambra, the Association of Attorneys in Local Courts in Granada and Gibraltar, and taking a side trip to Morocco. So this program offers the opportunity to learn about international law in a beautiful setting in Spain and the ability to explore some of the surrounding areas. Katie, would you like to talk a little bit about The Hague?
So as you can see, the first track includes courses such as international litigation, international negotiation, international intellectual property dispute resolution, also the rights of artists in the US, UK, and EU. Our second track is more public-based, so you'll be taking classes such as war crimes, international courts, comparative and criminal procedure, comparative litigation, and free speech issues. So you really get the chance. So The Hague is known as the International Center of Justice. So these classes pair really nicely with the field trips you'll be doing. Students in this program will attend the International Criminal Court. We've had students who've attended criminal trials for war criminals, which has been very interesting and rewarding for them. Our students will also get the chance to visit the Peace Palace, as well as the International Court of Justice. The housing in The Hague is all single rooms with your own bathroom. Linens are provided. The Hague program also includes breakfast and lunch Monday through Friday. It also includes laundry and a communal kitchen, so you really have the option to reduce some of your costs with food in the Hague program. Would you like to talk a little bit about the Cape Town program?
Yeah, I would love to. So we also have a 4-week program taking place in Cape Town, South Africa. And Cape Town is known for its beauty, but also South Africa has a really fascinating legal history. So students that are attending the Cape Town program will have the opportunity to study the new human rights of the 21st century, a course called From Apartheid to Democracy. They'll study health law issues and human rights in Africa, and they'll study origin and development of common law rights and liberties. While in South Africa, our students will have a number of extra visits. They'll be going to the Langa Township, Robben Island, on a safari, the Bo-Kaap walking tour and cooking class, District 6 Museum, and the University of Cape Town Law Clinic. Wonderful. Do you want to talk a little bit about Oxford?
All right, so our Oxford program is the last of the 4 summer programs that we offer. Our Oxford program is a little bit unique in that instead of taking a class each week, you're going to be immersed in either comparative litigation or comparative arbitration, depending on which track you take. So these classes are really aimed at skills-based. So you won't have a traditional exam in this course. It'll be depending on which track you go with, either a trial or an arbitration. The professors who are teaching this program have taught in it many times. It's a really popular program for those who are interested in practicing in litigation or arbitration. So as you can see, our track 1 is specifically focused on comparative litigation. The professors in the comparative arbitration track are Joe Morrissey and Stephanie Vaughn, who both teach at Stetson and coach our advocacy teams who compete in these types of competitions. Unlike the other programs, the Oxford classes meet Monday through Friday from 9 to 1. The other programs meet Monday through Thursday. But like I said, you're getting 3 credits for 2 weeks, and you're really getting to immerse yourself in the skills in Oxford. The Oxford program, you also will be having a single room with your own bathroom. Breakfast will be provided every day in Oxford. And that sums up our programs for the summer.
All right, so let's maybe go through some of the commonly asked questions that we get. Katie, can you give kind of a comparison across all the programs of the housing, the accommodation, sort of the general information that we have on each of those programs?
Sure.
Thanks.
So all of our programs have the option for single housing. The only program in which you might want to have a roommate is our Granada program. So it's totally optional. You can still pay to have a single room. So you won't have to worry about that. Of course, there will be an additional cost if you want to have a single room in Granada. And if you have any specific questions about cost, you can send us an email at the end of this. But the other programs in The Hague, Oxford, and in Cape Town, they'll all be single rooms with your own bathrooms.
Sometimes we get questions about whether or not folks can come with a spouse. And I guess if you had a single room, that could be problematic. Can you talk a little bit about how spouses would work if someone was married and wanted to bring their spouse?
Sure. So we do offer the option to bring your spouse in the programs Granada, Oxford, and The Hague. Unfortunately, we can't accommodate that in Cape Town this year. We have had students bring their spouses in the Granada, Hague, and Oxford programs.
Great. What other questions have you gotten from students, Katie?
So a big question is about our deposits. So students like to ask us, what does the deposit go to, and does it need to be paid before being accepted into the program?
Yeah, so students do need to pay their deposits to reserve their spaces in the programs. We accept students on a first come, first served basis, and our application deadline is March 15th. So if this is a program that you know you're interested in for the summer, I would strongly encourage you to go ahead, get your deposits and your application in. The application is available online, and that is what will hold your space in the program.
So Jessica, a lot of students ask us, what are some ways to keep the cost down in attending these programs? As you know, students in these programs are already taking out a massive amount of student loans, and they're always interested in ways to cut costs.
Yeah, I think it's a smart thing for students to be thinking about. So the tuition obviously is a fixed cost, and that's something that we can't really impact. But the rest of the costs that students see in the estimated budget online are things that are generally within their control. So different housing options, whether they're getting a single or a double in Granada where that's available, can impact the cost. But you'll also note that where we've estimated airfares, we've given students a pretty generous budget for airfares. I think it's pretty unusual that a student would actually spend that whole amount. So I would encourage students to shop carefully for airfares, and then additional monies for meals, for additional travel or other spending. Those are all optional costs in terms of how lavishly students wish to live while they're doing the study abroad. So that's something that can absolutely be controlled by students and their individual decision making.
Yeah, and especially in programs like The Hague and Oxford where meals are being provided to you, take advantage of that. That saves you a ton of money where you can do more things and more fun excursions on the weekends.
Yeah, good point.
Yeah. And also, so this is kind of a new question for us. This started coming up in the news, and a lot of students are starting to ask us, all right, what's the deal with the coronavirus? What's going on with that, and how will that affect our summer programs?
Yeah, it's a great question. And I think, again, if you're paying attention to the news, it's probably something that you're thinking about. What I can tell you is that at this point, we're not anticipating any changes to any of our programs over the summer. However, we're also carefully monitoring the situation. So if we find that it becomes a health risk, we obviously don't want to put anybody in danger. If there comes a point when we need to cancel or change programs, we will notify everybody. Monies would be refunded in that event. But at this point, we're not anticipating that will happen.
Thank you so much for joining us today. It was a pleasure to be able to talk about our study abroad programs and hopefully answer some of your questions. You can always reach out to us if you have any more questions. This slide will show our information. international@law.stetson.edu, and someone from our office will reach out to you. You can also always give us a phone call. We're happy to help you through the application process, and we really hope to see you abroad this summer.
Thanks for joining us.